Today we're going to be talking about gloves, the most important item in every single inventory, the glue of the inventory, some might call it. The only skin that you see no matter what weapon you're holding. Now, before we get into the tier list, I am going to be giving away these driver's gloves racing green in minimal wear condition. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is leave a comment on this video telling me which pair of gloves is your favorite. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. If this video gets 150 likes, or if we hit 1,900 subscribers, we will roll for this giveaway inside of my Discord server. To be entered into this giveaway, you have to leave a comment on this video and be subscribed, or you will not be entered. Good luck. All right, up first we have snow leopards. So I was an absolute snow leopard meat rider in CSGO. In CS2, I think they don't look as good, to be completely honest. In factory new minimal wear, great condition, they look amazing, don't get me wrong, but somebody recently put me on a king snakes, and in low wears, king snakes just look so much better. A field tested pair of snow leopards I don't think looks that good anymore. I think king snakes are the superior white glove. So for snow leopards, I'm gonna go B tier. We might get some angry comments with that one, but this is my tier list. Up next we have big game gloves. Now these are some of my personal favorite gloves in the game. I think the brown and orange look so good. They are a pattern based glove. We don't have a ton of pattern based gloves in the game. You can get some really interesting unique patterns: max brown, max white, max orange, of course the famous skeleton knife combo. And I think they're just super underrated for the price, especially when you're holding a gun. The amount of orange that you see on your thumb, like the orange on the palms, looks so good. If you're going for an orange inventory, I personally think these are the gloves you want to pick up. So big game gloves, I'm personally going to throw those in A tier. Again, some of my favorite gloves in the entire game. Up next, we have Imperial Plaids. I do actually really enjoy these gloves. They are pattern based. Not everybody likes the plaid pattern of these gloves, but I think they look good. If you're going for a purple inventory, even a pink inventory, these are your go-to gloves. They are a little oversaturated, I have to be completely honest, but if you get a nice float, 0.2 and below, and field tested, these things look absolutely amazing, and they're not that expensive. Maybe 300, 400 bucks for some really good looking gloves. You're kind of stuck with either Dopplers or freehand knives when you go with these gloves, but hey, it's a nice looking combo. You can't hate on it. I think Imperial Plaids deserve, I'm going to throw them in B tier for now. I might come back to them and put them in C tier. We'll have to see. I do think snow leopards are better. Up next, we have Crimson Web gloves. Now, these gloves are so slept on in my opinion. I know they are a little underwhelming when you have your knife out. They're very gray. I kind of wish they had more red, but these things are so cheap. And they're just like the normal Crimson Web knives. They are pattern based. So you can get patterns on these gloves. You can get centered webs on each hand. You can get centered webs on both hands. Very good looking gloves. Again, and they're honestly on the budget end of red gloves. I don't know why more people don't use these when they're going for a budget inventory. And again, when you have a weapon, you get a lot of red on the palm of the glove, on the thumb of the glove. You get a ton of red holding these things. I think they're a super underrated glove. Specialist gloves, Crimson Web. I want to put them here in B tier. Now, before we move on, guys, just a quick word from this video's sponsor. SkinsMonkey is an instant way to get new CS2 skins and make your perfect inventory. First, deposit the skins you want to trade, then filter for the skins you want. Last, hit trade, and the new skins will instantly be yours. SkinsMonkey is offering up to $5 free on your first trade. The more you trade, the more you earn. If you're looking to buy skins for cheap, SkinsMonkey offers a 35% top-up bonus if you use code Savimi at checkout. Check out SkinsMonkey and build your perfect inventory. Up next, we have Nox. A lot of people, I think Nox have a very niche community. Like, if you like a Nox, you love them to death, and you're never going to use a different pair of gloves in your entire life. And if you don't like Nox, you're never going to touch these. I'm leaning towards the side of I don't think Nox are amazing. I think they're sleek looking, don't get me wrong, and I do actually enjoy the subtle kind of leopard print on the gloves. They are pattern based. There's technically tier 1 Nox, or they're max black and whatever you want to call it. But I think they lost their touch. In CSGO, they were like Vanta black. They were so dark. They looked really cool. And in CS2 with the new lighting, they just don't have that same effect. I think they're just okay. I'm putting Nox in C tier for now. I don't know. I think they're a little overhyped, especially for the price. A little bit overhyped. Up next, we have Scarlet Shamaha. I don't know how I feel about these. If you guys can see on the palm, they're like green. They're green now on the palm instead of being black like they used to be. There was an update recently that changed them. I don't like them. I don't like the pattern that much. I think the Crimson Webs mog this as far as budget red gloves go. I think I do like them better than the Blood Pressure Moto gloves, but I think everybody that's building a red inventory, if they're gonna get gloves on a budget, they're always like, get the Scarlet Shamahas. No, dude, these things are not that good. They don't look good. Kind of overrated. I'm not a huge fan. You do get a good view of the palm. Like the palm when you're holding a weapon is pretty good on these, but like when you have your knife out, I don't like them at all. Scarlet Shamahas, I'm gonna put them in C tier for now. They might be moved down. Next up, Hydra Gloves Emerald. These are so clean. Honestly, they're so clean. They're very simplistic with green accents, and I think that makes them look really good. If you're going for budget green inventory, these are going to be your best friend. These are so nice looking. I actually don't mind Hydra gloves. I know they get a lot of hate. I know that fingerless gloves aren't everybody's cup of tea, but I think these things are actually pretty clean, especially for the price factored in. These things are really good looking. Hydra gloves Emerald, I think I'm going to put them in C tier because I don't think they don't deserve to be in B tier. I think I'm going to put them at the top of C tier for right now. Next up, we have sports gloves Amphibious, and I always go back and forth on these gloves. I don't know if I like them. I don't know if I dislike them. I'm looking at them right now, and I like them, but it might just because of the water in the background. Holding a weapon, they do look good. That nice light blue is a very nice color, I will admit, but they look slimy, and they look like an actual frog, and I don't know if that's a good thing because, you know, it's like amphibious gloves, or if it's a bad thing because it's slimy. I don't know how I feel about them. I think I'm going to put the amphibious gloves in B tier for now. I like them better than the Imperial Plaids, though. We're going to go right here in B tier. Next up, we have Specialist Gloves Fade. These are the normal Fade gloves, and I just cannot convince myself to like them. I know they're pattern-based, and I know you can get, like, fade patterns. I just don't think they look good. Normal Fade gloves, I'm going to go in D tier. First D tier of the list. Next up, we have Driver's Gloves King Snakes. Like I was saying before, these things mog the snow leopards, in my opinion. They look so good. I used to not like this kind of like cowboy, you know, snake boot camo thing. I really enjoy it nowadays. I've matured a little bit. My opinions have matured. I think if you don't like the king snakes, you gotta just wait to grow up a little bit more and you'll start to like them. I really enjoy these gloves. King snakes, I'm gonna go right above snow leopards in B tier. I might throw them in A tier, actually. I'm throwing them in A tier. I really like the king snakes. Really like the king snakes. Up next, we have black tie gloves, and I do enjoy these. You get a nice white palm, black thumb when you're holding your weapon. Nice black outline. They look very classy. They look very sleek. I actually do like the weave patterns on these gloves. I like the weaves on the backside of your hand there. And I like these better than Nox. I'm going to come out and say it. They're cheaper than Nox. I like them better than Nox. They don't wear as well as Nox do. And not everybody likes driver's gloves. A lot of driver's gloves have a golden button on the wrist right there. But the black ties have a silver button. And I think it looks really good. It complements the glove very nicely. I would not like these gloves as much if they had a golden button there. Black ties, I'm gonna go at the top of C tier. Up next, we have bronze morphs. Now, I never understood this name. I don't understand why they are called bronze morphs. There's no bronze on them. I've never heard anybody bring this up. Bronze morphs are literally just red and green amphibious gloves. So if you like the amphibious gloves, you can't automatically hate on these. These are the most hated gloves in the game. I will admit, they don't look that good. It's very hard to make these work. I don't know what Valve was cooking with the green and red combo there. Christmas gloves. Christmas is coming up. I don't think they're that bad. I think they're a little overhated. I don't like them, but I don't think they deserve all the hate they get just for being what they are. If somebody could send me a combo in the server proving that these gloves can be great, I would love you. I'll give you a special role or something in the Discord server. Please, I want to see these gloves succeed. I want to see them work. I gotta put bronze morphs in D tier. I still think they're better than the Fade. Up next, we have Resin the red gloves. This is a very popular, when people are building a red inventory on a budget, they always go for these gloves. I hate them. I don't know why I don't like them so well. I think it's because everybody on a budget buys these and they always look terrible. Like, because they can't afford good floats, which is totally understandable, but their knuckles are so scuffed. It's like, dude, just please go get Crimson Webs instead. Please go get Crimson Webs. We're going back to back D tiers. Resin the red D tier. Up next, we have Queen Jaguars. Now, these gloves are so overhated. I actually think they look pretty good. One of my good buddies in the Discord server, Ryder, loves these things. And I'm going to have to agree with him. They look so good for the price. Factory new is like $300, or maybe minimal wear is like $300, but still super cheap for minimal wear gloves. Are you kidding me? And I think they look pretty good. I think they go with a lot of things. Like, obviously don't rock like a Doppler or something like, but Ryder rocks a Fade butterfly knife with the Queen Jaguars, and they actually look really good. It's actually a really nice looking combo. I think these gloves are overhated. We might make some people mad here, but I'm putting the Queen Jags on top of B tier. Up next, Marble Fade gloves. They look so just awful. I don't want to talk about them too much. I don't like the blue part on the back of the hand. Why does it look like that? It doesn't look like gloves. Terrible. Marble Fade, F tier. Up next, we have Driver's Gloves Racing Green. I might get some backlash for this. I know these are probably the cheapest gloves in the game. I don't think they're that bad. I really like this dark green color. These could work If you guys have seen my classy inventory video, these gloves could work in place of, I think I used the Queen Jaguars in that video, but these gloves could very well work in place of those. I love the dark green so much. I think it looks so good. If these gloves and the Imperial Plaids had a baby, so the Imperial Plaids turned into this green, I would wear them till the day I died. Driver's gloves racing green. I'm gonna put them in C tier, right here behind the Nox. Up next we have Moto Gloves Turtle. They are a very unique shade of green. I don't see them get used a lot. Ryder, the guy with the Queen Jaguars, does use these too. He's a unique glove enjoyer, you could say. They do feel like Ninja Turtle gloves, that's for sure. Like you're cosplaying a Ninja Turtle right here. I don't know, they're pretty cool. I'm not gonna hate on them. Moto Gloves Turtle, I'm gonna go back of C tier. Moto Gloves Blood Pressure up next here. I don't like these at all. I think it's cool that the knuckles have a carbon fiber effect, but the whole like veiny blood pattern on the rest of the glove, I despise. It doesn't look good to me. I never really realized that these things were so popular in the budget red community. Again, guys, Crimson Web gloves, please. Blood Pressure, D tier. Don't like them. Up next, we have Broken Fang Gloves Jade. And I think these things have so much potential. I know they're Jade, not Emerald. I just don't think they look out of place to me. Like whatever material is on there, it's the same material that like the case hardened gloves have. It doesn't look, not a huge fan of the Jade gloves. They look like uncomfortable to wear. They look like costume gloves. Like you'd get these gloves as part of a costume. They're super cheap at Spirit Halloween or something. They're super cheap quality. They don't feel great to wear. Jade gloves. D tier right here, in the middle of D tier. Up next, we have Specialist Gloves Mogul. I think they're okay. The gray that you see on the back of the hands here is part of the pattern of the glove. A lot of people think that's wear. It's not actually wear. That's part of the glove. Oh, the yellow throws me off. I wish they were all blue, but we have a lot of all blue gloves. I think they're just okay. I think there's definitely better Specialist Gloves. Specialist Gloves Mogul, I'm going to put them at the bottom of C tier. Next, we have Hydra Gloves Case Hardened. Same thing. I don't like that texture. I don't like the way it looks. In CSGO, these things weren't actually pattern-based, which a lot of people were upset about, and they are pattern-based now in CS2. They still look terrible. They still don't look good. I can't get myself to like these things, no matter how hard I try. I can't do it. Case hardened gloves. I'm gonna put them in D tier right here, right below the blood pressure. Up next, we have Moto Gloves Polygon. I actually kind of enjoy these things. I'm not gonna lie. They're really nice on the budget. They're super cheap. They wear very good. You can get some cheap ones, field tested ones, and they don't look that scuffed. They go great with blue steel knives. Like a perfect fit with blue steel knives, actually. Like the fit is kind of out of this world, low key. Moto Gloves Polygon. I'm gonna put them bottom of B tier, factoring in price. They're a little basic, but they look great. Up next, we have Broken Fang Gloves Yellow Banded. These, I've never seen these in game once. Never once in my entire life. And I've got to be completely honest, I think they look kind of good. I kind of like them. They're very sleek, but like at the same time, they pop, they're vibrant. I genuinely enjoy these things, I'm not gonna lie. Might have to buy a pair. Yellow Banded is gonna be in bottom of C tier. I think C tier is fair. Up next, we have Hand Wraps Constrictor. They are orange, they do work. They would probably look decent with a rust coat knife. I just hate rust coat knives. I don't know what else you would fit with these. I don't know. I think they're kind of mid. I think they're mid. Hand Wraps Constrictor, I'm gonna go top of D tier. Up next, we have Specialist Gloves Lieutenant Commander. Now, these things I think are budget champs. Like, these things are super affordable. Field tested, looks absolutely flawless. And they look so good. That nice kind of safari mesh color on the inside between the index finger and the thumb looks perfect with a safari mesh knife. One of my go-to recommendations for budget combos back in the day used to be these gloves and any safari mesh knife. It looks really good. You'd actually be surprised. I think that baby blue pattern looks pretty good too. Pair this with the Blueberry Agent on CT. Really great looking blue combo. Very great looking. And unique. These gloves aren't used very often. Lieutenant Commander, I will actually be putting them in B tier. Up next, we have Moto Gloves POW. I used to despise these things. Like, it took everything in my body to just like to not hate on these instantly. But they actually surprisingly look pretty great with a lot of different knives. Mango Fades look great with these things. Slaughters look surprisingly good. Rubies look good. They're a little orange, a little brown, a little tan. They have a lot going on there. They work in an orange inventory. They actually match my M4 pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're underrated. Moto Gloves POW, I'm gonna put right here in C tier. Next up, we have Sports Gloves Slingshot. These are some of my favorite gloves in the entire game. Still, one of my favorite combos to see is a Talon Ruby paired with these things. It doesn't get much better than that. The color match is just out of this world. They're super clean looking. It's kind of unfortunate because they don't wear the best. You kind of have to get at least low field tested for them to look good. Little basic, maybe you could say they're a little basic, but I think they've kind of fallen out of favor in favor of crimson kimonos. So I'd like to see these things start making a resurgence. Sports gloves slingshot. We're going in A tier once again, and I do like them more than the big game gloves and the king snakes. Up next we have tiger strike gloves. These are still some of my favorite gloves in the game. I love the orange. I love the orange on the palm and the thumb. When you're holding a glove, that orange is so amazing. I love the creamy white color. I love the accents, and I do love the tiger pattern. I gotta be honest, I think these gloves are great looking. We might have back-to-back A tiers here. Yeah, we're definitely having back-to-back A tiers here. I think I like them right here. I like the big game gloves more, but the tiger strikes are so hard to beat. I've never owned tiger strikes, but I feel like I might get bored of them very quickly. Up next, we have Hydra Gloves Rattler. I wasn't even gonna inspect these. I was just gonna throw them in F tier, but I actually think they look kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. They do look pretty decent. Hydra Gloves Rattler. I'm gonna throw them in C tier. Up next, we have a Specialist Gloves Field Agent. I don't like these things at all. I think the yellow, like I said earlier, so many Specialist gloves have yellow on them. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the navy blue with the yellow, at least. Maybe if they were all navy blue, they would look pretty cool. But like the only combo that I think looks good with these are going to be like Piss and Ice marble fades on the Karambit. That's literally it. Anything else you try to rock with these, the yellow is going to throw it off. Or vice versa. Field Agent gloves, I'm putting in D tier. Up next, we have Moto Gloves Finish Line. I actually am a big enjoyer of these things. I think they're super slept on, and they're a great bang for your budget glove. I think the fact that they're moto gloves too, like, you know, like you'd be driving a motorcycle if you were wearing these gloves, and they have a finish line on them. I think that's a great little lore kind of, you know, reference. I really like that fact about them. Green inventory, even that black and white inventory, these work, you know, like with a little spice. I think they look really good. Moto Gloves Finish Line, I'm gonna put in B tier. Up next, we have Third Commando Company. I think these are like arguably some of the worst gloves in the game. The colors don't work. They look like the USPS Serum. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. F tier. Up next, we have Moto Gloves Transport. Huge fan of these things. Another bang for your buck glove. Budget arid gloves. I love this tan color in CS2. I think it looks so good. And I like solid color gloves. Like, I feel like these are some of the very few solid color gloves that we have in the game, and they look great. They look so good. Oh my god. Look at them. They look amazing. Transport gloves, they're going in B tier, right behind Imperial Plaids. Up next, we have Hydra Gloves Mangrove. These are always my go-to budget recommendations. Pair these gloves with a safari mesh knife. You have a banger knife glove combo for under $300 most of the time. Now, has anybody ever been like, you know what, that's actually a pretty good idea? I'm gonna take your advice. No. I've gotten shit on every single time I've recommended this, but I'm gonna stick to it. Hydra Glove Mangrove, top of D tier. Strong budget pick. Up next, we have Moto Gloves Smokeout. These are a fan favorite glove. They're one of my favorite gloves in the game. They look amazing. You can't deny that. They're also super budget friendly. They're very affordable and like field tested, well worn wears. Super cheap. They look really good. They wear very good. I know 4 people off the top of my head in the Discord server that rock these things. A great glove. A great glove. And a blank canvas. They can go with just about any knife and look really good. I'm going to put them at the top of B tier. Next, we have Specialist Gloves Buckshot. I do actually think they're pretty decent. I love the roses on them, or the flowers, whatever those are. I just don't think they look great with any knife, really. I don't know what you would pair these with other than like a vanilla knife. Safari mesh doesn't work. Rust coat doesn't work. I wish there was something that worked with them better. They're a good pair of gloves. They just don't get enough love in my opinion. Buckshot, we're going to go on top of D tier. Up next, we have Unhinged Gloves. These are the go-to budget, you know, default. Oni Pixel said it himself, Air Force One gloves. But I think that says a lot about you. You're basic if you rock these things. There's a lot of different options when it comes to gloves in this price point. You don't have to get these. I've talked about, you know, 5 or 6 great budget options that would be in the same price point, and I think I see these too much. I'm tired of them. Let's change it up, budget gamers. Let's change it up. Unhinged gloves, we'll go right here, bottom of C tier. I'm not even gonna look at needlepoint gloves. I'm putting them in F tier. They're AIDS gloves. AIDS gloves. Up next, we have Desert Shamaha. I really like these, actually. I think they're very unique gloves. I've only known one person in my entire Counter-Strike career who has rocked these things, and I think they're really good. They look great with gold gems. I'm gonna point that out there to you guys. If you guys are gold gem enjoyers, these things look really good. I'm gonna throw them right above Turtle Gloves in C tier. Up next, we have Hand Wraps Giraffe. I don't like these at all. Giraffe. Who thought of these, dude? Giraffe. I mean, a giraffe's like a mid-animal. If you asked 100 people what their favorite animal was, I think you'd get max 2 answers saying giraffe. Just to be completely honest. I think they're fine. Giraffe gloves, D tier. Up next, we have Omega gloves. I don't like how they look sticky. I don't like how they look wet. They're shiny, and I don't like that. I'm an Omega glove hater. I gotta be completely honest. I was an Omega glove hater. I wore some for a video one time, and I was like, you know what? Maybe they're not that bad. I'm back to hating them. I'm back to being an Omega glove hater. Omega gloves. I'm putting them at the bottom of C tier. That's dramatic. That's dramatic. I'm gonna put them right behind Racing Green in C tier. Up next, we have hand wraps Caution. I don't like these things at all. I don't like them at all. The yellow's actually kind of cool. I like the yellow color, but I don't like the Caution Danger. Like, everybody that has these things, like a Swagger Souls vibe to them. Like, they love trolling. They think they're hilarious. They love griefing. They think they're better than everybody else. And that's why I don't like them. I think I have PTSD from meeting people who enjoy these gloves. Caution gloves, D tier. Up next, we have driver's gloves Overtake. I like the brown. I like the kind of golden orange, golden yellow color that comes with them on the palms and whatnot. They look pretty decent. They look a little bit dirty. Like, the palm looks kind of dirty for some reason, but I think they look good. A budget combo that I recently stumbled upon is these paired with a Tiger Strike Shadow Daggers. It looks really good. It matches really well. You want yellow? On a budget, yellow or orange, go with these gloves and Tiger Strike Shadow Daggers. Overtake gloves. We're gonna throw you in C tier, probably right here. Up next, duct tape gloves. If you're legitimately rocking these, not for the meme but because you think they look good, something's wrong with you and you need to get help. To be completely honest with you, they look disgusting. They look like it looks like you have tetanus or something. Duct tape gloves, F tier. Hand wraps Overprint. They are pattern based. I like that teal color. You can get, well worn, field tested ones, and they look pretty decent. They look great with Scion Gamma Dopplers. A pretty decent budget glove. Gotta be completely honest. Like, if you want to get a nice Gamma Doppler knife, but you can't afford, Cool Mints or Spearmints or something like that, pick up these for your budget combo. Overprints, I will put at the top of C tier. Cobalt Skulls. I hate the skulls. Like, you think you're edgy, you think you're so cool, but the blue is gorgeous. Both of those shades of blue are so gorgeous. It's a shame that the skulls are there, to be completely honest. Like, if they were just solid color, they would look so good. Cobalt Skulls, I have to put in bottom of C tier. Moto Gloves Boom. I actually really enjoy these things. A very underrated pattern. Butterfly knife, fade, max fade percentage, so you get a lot of pink paired with the Boom glove. Works surprisingly good. Underrated. They're an underrated glove. I don't think they get a lot of love. Moto Gloves Boom. We go at the... I'm gonna put them right here in C tier. Next up, we have Vice gloves. They did get significantly nerfed going into CS2 from CSGO. And these things have a very split fan base. You love them to death or you absolutely despise them. I'm kind of indifferent to them. I don't think they're the best glove in the game. I don't think they're bad by any means. Like, I still get excited when I see Vice gloves. I'm like, oh, that guy's got Vice gloves. Pretty expensive. What I do hate is when people get battle scarred or well-worn Vice gloves. That's like... They're still a pretty big chunk of change, $700 sometimes. Dude, there's way better glove options for that price. Like, you don't need to have Vice gloves. That's the only thing that bothers me about them. I think Vice gloves deserve to be at the top of B tier. I'll put them in A tier. I like Vice gloves. I don't think they're that bad. Up next, we have sports gloves, Arid gloves. I'm not going to say too much about these things, but in my humble opinion, these are the best gloves in the entire game. They're the best gloves in the game. You cannot change my mind. They are so gorgeous. So gorgeous. S tier. First S tier gloves of the video. Up next, Specialist Gloves Foundations. These things get so much hate. I actually really enjoy them. Foundation gloves, I'm gonna go B tier. Crimson Weave gloves. We've talked about it multiple times before. If you go on a budget and you want red gloves, get Crimson Web gloves. Don't get these. Crimson Weave gloves, D tier. Up next, Lunar Weave gloves. I actually really like these. Pair these with any knight knife, and it's an amazing looking knife. And it's an amazing looking combo. Spectacular looking combo. Lunar Weave gloves, I'm gonna put in B tier. I'm gonna get some of the shitters out of the way real fast. Next up, Cool Mint gloves. I think they're decent. I think they're better than the Polygon gloves, but I think they get compared to Spearmints way too much, and Spearmints honestly mog them. Cool Mints are gonna go in B tier. Next up, Forest DD-Pat Specialist gloves. If you get any Forest DD-Pat knife, it's a perfect combo match, and I think that's really underrated. If this army military style is kind of your inventory thing, they're a great glove to go with. I think they're overhated or maybe underlooked. I just feel like people don't consider these at all. Forest DD-Pat gloves are gonna be in C tier. Hand wrap slaughters are like my least favorite gloves in the entire game, by the way. Diamondbacks are another underlooked glove in my opinion. I never realized how great you can make these look on such a budget. They're so cheap. They're like $230 for field tested, and they look so good. If this is your thing and that's your budget, consider picking these up. I'm putting them in a B tier. I'm gonna be honest, I'm putting them in B tier. Maybe right here. Up next, we have Moto Gloves Eclipse. I just think they're so underwhelming. I know that the yellow accent is nice, and I know that they're budget. I just think they're extremely underwhelming. Nothing special whatsoever to write home about. The palm's unique. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I don't like them. Moto Gloves Eclipse. We're gonna go in D tier. Up next, we have Emerald Webs. These are some of the best gloves in the game. Same thing as the Crimson Webs. They are pattern-based gloves. You can get centered webs on the left hand, right hand, both hands. That green is gorgeous looking. It's like toxic, very unique shade. And these are some of the most expensive gloves in the game for a reason. They look amazing. Specialist gloves, Emerald Web, I'm putting in S tier. They are amazing looking gloves. Up next, we have Sports Gloves Superconductors. I do think they look great. You know, that baby blue, especially holding a weapon on the thumbs and palm there, is a great color. But I just don't like that they're shiny now. I think that was a huge nerf to them. Don't like the shiny. I wish they were matte still. Superconductors are going to go in A tier right behind Slingshots. Still a great glove, but like I said, I don't like the shiny. Spearmint gloves up next here. These are some of the best gloves in the game. You can pair these with any Scion, Doppler, any Diamond Gem. You know, if you think that's a thing. Blue gems look great with them. White knives look great with them. Rubies look great. They're a great glove. Oh my god, they are a great glove. They are so pretty. Shout out to Lexi B for rocking these things even when nobody liked them. Spearmints going in S tier. S tier. And just to finish off the juices here, because everybody probably knows what these look like. Pandora's Box, S tier gloves. Crimson Kimonos, S tier gloves. Probably the best pattern-based glove in the game. And Hedge Maze gloves, I'm going to put in A tier right above the Slingshot gloves. Now let me order the higher tiers here real fast. I think I like it like this in S tier. A tier, I like the way it looks. Yeah, so that's the final list. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this tier list video. Please leave a comment letting me know which tier list you guys would like to see next, if you even like these tier list videos. If not, I'd love to hear that as well. Please remember that we are giving away those driver's gloves racing green in minimal wear conditions, so please make sure to enter, guys. I'll see you next time.